Good morning, future M. Happy first day at your new job. Here's a little office tour. Office, office, office. Yeah. I just spent the last 4 hours trying to get details straight and calling help desks and trying to get computers on corporate networks and doing all the details of things. And now it is time for tea. Tea. I spent some time today playing around on Sketchpad on the Microsoft Surface with the Surface Pen. This is my company issued work computer, so I just wanted to spend some time figuring out how to use it. And I really liked the sort of aesthetic that came out of it. Keeping the mistakes instead of undoing them, because often I strike out words when I write in a paper notebook, and I was erasing them and redoing them over and over again, but I decided that I liked keeping that aesthetic from paper notebooks, and I'm just playing around with this toy and wondering sort of why this thing makes journal pages that look like this as opposed to in my paper journal. Playing around with different pens and highlighters and how like holding the computer changes the writing style. So I was like laying on my back with it propped up on my knees, writing in this diagonal, and then playing with either like how to hold it with my hand or tilting the tablet in different ways, because the Microsoft Surface, it has a detachable keyboard. So this is like the whole computer. And then of course I had to get meta. I put all of my first thoughts and tests with the Surface Pen in here, and now I'm making a meta note. It's important to part of the collage aesthetic. And if you've never heard of collage aesthetic, I looked up this paper that's sort of on the basics of collage aesthetic, because I realized here that because you can do easy screenshot sketches, I can incorporate more media into my journal pages when I do them this way. And I'm just going to read you this part here about collage aesthetic because it's an important part of my art practice. You might be able to tell from the giant piles of stickers and tapes and everything everywhere all the time. Contrasting materials, formal strategies, and dialogues, the collage aesthetic represents a sort of non-linear, elliptical narrative that metaphorically recreates the complex reality in which we actually live. I will argue that apart from the effects of modernism, which is what some books on collage aesthetics are about, where was I? The collage aesthetic reflects the core aspects of perception, verbal and intellectual process, a tool by which we construct our own personal models of the world with information gathered from many sources across time and space. It's journal talk time. These pages always seem so pointless as I do them. Shouldn't I be writing about a topic, keeping to the specifics of some salient island? This is an exercise in ambiguity, in thoughtless, or at least judgmentless progression. I need to walk the dog. I need to admit every day isn't significant, and that this daily video and writing habit are more to kindle the coal of my inspiration, to revel in process despite my lack of a big project at the moment, to think without completion, without tidiness. This is my only salve for doubt. The thing about pain is that it's like that very conscientious neighbor who leaves their radio on all the time. Oh, I'm dropping it. Thank you for your assistance.
Welcome.
They just radio all the time, but its volume changes, so sometimes it's tolerable, imperceptible even. And sometimes it's got subwoofers. There's a dog out there. Doggo. Kelly. Can you come up? Up. Kelly. Up. Up. Good night, future. Does that work?